or go to feathersphoto.com. That's feathersphoto.com.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is your official Santa Clarita Dodger station. You can catch all evening games right here on your hometown station. For all the latest news and updates on your Los Angeles Dodgers, KHTS has you covered. Go to hometownstation.com.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
At City of Hope, we don't believe the future can wait for the future. For over a century, we've been advancing science that saves lives. From 4 of the world's top cancer-fighting drugs to the development of synthetic human insulin. We are maximizing the potential of immunotherapy and making precision medicine a reality. It's not enough to promise future cures for cancer. We must find them sooner. We are the miracle of science with soul. Find out more at cityofhope.org.
Hey there, I'm Tori with your hometown station weather. Mostly sunny skies this week with highs in the mid-90s. Overnight lows in the mid-60s. Save the date for the SCV Chamber Latino Business Alliance Gala, Saturday, September 8th at 6 p.m. at the Newhall Family Theater for the Performing Arts. For more information, go to scvchamber.com. And for all things Santa Clarita Valley related, go to hometownstation.com.
Welcome. AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. My gracious co-host, Alex Grossman. Alex, you there? Alex, are you there?
I am here.
How you doing? You've been
fantastic.
You've been traveling quite a bit, huh?
I have been traveling, seeing this beautiful country that we're in, all over the East Coast, in the humidity, and so glad to be back in Southern California.
I was thinking maybe you got a job with the airlines, you know?
They should pay me for the time I spend there.
Well, I'm sure they would. For people that don't know the Ask Brien radio show, Ask Brien radio show is an extension of the website Ask Brien, and Ask Brien is ASKBRIEN, and you're listening to the Ask Brien radio show. The Ask Brien website is a site where people that have a business issue, a business problem, can get those problems solved. They can do that in a number of ways. We have the Ask Brien business community, which is other dry cleaners in a different state may be able to answer the dry cleaning question to somebody in the business community, or that business person can specifically ask for a specific expert in a specific area, like Facebook advertising, like our guest that we're going to be introducing shortly, or any other type of expertise in some type of area. In order to become an expert has to apply, and they are vetted, they are checked out, they made sure that we do our due diligence to make sure that that person is acceptable to become an expert. The experts are allowed to post videos, post ebooks, and post blogs. They also are allowed to have their webinar scheduled on our webinar calendar, and people in the business community who are members of the Ask Brien community, which is a free service currently, can then go ahead and calendar those events so they can they can maybe read an ebook on Facebook advertising, catch a webinar with our current guest that we're going to be introducing in a minute, and watch a video or anything else they want, or even ask a specific question to that expert to get the answer. Ask Brien is all about trying to teach business resolution to business people and business community. And my co-host, Alex Grossman, has years of experience in technology field. I'm grateful to have him as my current guest host. And Alex, you there?
I am absolutely here, Brian, and I'm watching you spin your phone around, and I know that's a way that it makes more energy from a technology standpoint.
Well, you are an engineer, so I'm trying. I
right.
thought I would test physics with you. And by the way, we don't have any physics experts, so if you want to sign up, you can become our physics expert. Alex Grossman.
There we go. I don't think you'll get a lot of business physics questions, to be honest, but it's possible.
Well, you might have a manufacturer that can't figure out how to package something, and he may want a packaged product expert, and he might be asking you that question, especially with your background. Without liberty, because you've been on other shows, I'm going to let people know some of those famous people that you know. You want to drop one or two names there?
I don't want to really drop those names. I know a few people out there in the industry.
You have quite the Rolodex.
I do.
So,
I'm very fortunate.
Right now we have our guest, Andy. Andy, are you there?
I am.
And the name of your company is what? Creatively Disruptive?
Creatively Disruptive, correct. You can find us at creativelydisruptive.com.
Now, how
Don't confuse it with creatively destructive, which is what some people sometimes do. It's not destructive.
I thought you were creatively destroying all your competitors.
Correctly. Right, correct. I don't like to think that we're a destructive kind of entity. We like to create. We like to disrupt. Because, the word disrupt is a marketing term to kind of like capture people's attention, right? So that's the idea. We creatively disrupt the feed so people notice the clients that we work with.
Well, when I think of that from a marketing perspective, I think of people that are going to think outside the box, that have come up with solutions that nobody ever thought of, and that's why you're on our show, and that's why we're so glad to have you on board. So,
well, thank you.
What was your background? Well, first of all, how did you come up with the name?
Well, I have a partner, and the company basically spun out of a previous business that we had, which was a print company that focused on tourism, right? So the magazines were printed and they were put into hotel rooms, and we did video production, we did all sorts of different things, did a lot of online stuff, and we actually spun this business that we have now out of that business because obviously, print has become a challenging medium, and we were doing so well for our clients from a online marketing standpoint that we basically just sold off the print part of it and created Creatively Disruptive. And it came from my partner sitting there and just it was like a bolt from the blue, I guess. He got creatively disrupted by something in the universe that just hit him in the side of the head and came out of his mouth, and that's how it happened. There was no scientific process that we went through. It was inspiration. It was like a moment of inspiration on his part.
It was the aha moment.
Correct. It was eureka, right?
Now, what was your background before that business?
Prior to that, obviously, as I said, we're in a tourism marketing company where we promoted different tourism. We're actually based in San Diego. The previous company started in Lake Tahoe, and we expanded down to San Diego, and we basically, would promote things for tourists. Prior to that, I worked in television as a sales director for a few years, basically helping businesses create messages and get the word out through TV. Prior to that, my very first job in the United States, to probably tell that I'm not from these parts, I'm from the deep South. Prior to that, I actually came over here opening up CarMax stores, believe it or not, as a sales manager for CarMax, which is the auto superstores. I worked for them for about 4 years. The first 4 years that I was in the country, traveling around the East Coast and the Midwest, opening up stores. So that's a little bit of a background for me. So sales and marketing has been my gig for a good 20-something years, and we really enjoyed it. So there's something enjoyable about helping small businesses disrupt the airways and get their word out. And it's sometimes a very tough business, so it's fun.
So now, give me some background. What it does Creatively Disruptive? What areas you're doing? You're doing marketing of some sort. What exactly do you do? You're doing social media management, or advertising, or what?
Yep. Yeah, so we specialize. We do a couple of different things. We originally were a web development company, which obviously there's a lot of competition out there for that. And we've actually morphed into a social media, or more specifically Facebook ad marketing agency. So we specialize. Probably 95% of our business now is actually building and running and operating Facebook ads for clients, big and small. We have some clients that are spending, $50,000-$60,000 a month, through to down to some clients that are spending maybe $1,500 a month on running ads. And our job is to build out their systems, build out their ads, run their ads, test their ads. When Facebook changes the rules every 5 minutes, which is what they tend to do, is rebuild the ads and restructure them to make sure that they're working. Facebook, the reason why I guess we do so well is I think most people know that Facebook can do some pretty cool things. What's difficult is getting it to do those cool things. And I love Facebook and hate Facebook at the same time, from the point of view of, Facebook makes it very easy for you to put up an ad. Facebook makes it very easy for you to spend money with them. Facebook doesn't make it so clear on how you can actually get a result where you actually get more money back than you spend with them. And that's where we kind of specialize. Now, we do some Google advertising for people. We still do website development, because obviously the website is where that Facebook marketing ends up, right? So that Facebook traffic that we generate would end up at a website to either deliver a lead or deliver an e-commerce sale. But the majority of our efforts from a knowledge standpoint, an educational standpoint, hours spent standpoint is actually making sure that people's Facebook campaigns actually make the money.
Well, spending $50,000 a month has got to be hard to make money, right?
What's that? Sorry?
You said some of your clients are spending $50,000 a month on advertising. I imagine that if they're not making well over 100, maybe $150,000 in revenue, that's pretty hard. So that's quite a bit of marketing and advertising to do from a source of Facebook. I wouldn't think, unless you're selling a high ticket item, spending $50,000 a month is so easy to make, to bring back 100 or 150.
Well, it's funny because you say that, but if you think about Amazon, right? The majority of the sales that Amazon makes every day from an e-commerce standpoint online, all of their sales is online. The majority of their sales is anywhere between $10 to $30, right? Yet they are currently generating 50% of all of the sales online in the United States right now. 50% of all the e-com business is actually on Amazon, if you can believe that. So the dollar amount that can be made isn't necessarily the dollar amount that you're charging. The dollar amount is pretty much in relation to how big your audience is and how much money you put in to reach that audience. So some of the clients that are doing large numbers, they might be selling, I think one of them is selling an $80 product, but they're selling a lot of $80 products, right? If you think about, their goal, I think they're currently close to about $150,000, $160,000 a month in revenue. If you divide that by 80, you're looking at getting 2,000 sales, right? 2,000 sales a day is only 66 sales. So what you're trying to do as a marketer is you're trying to get enough people in front of that ad that are likely to purchase that product to generate 66 sales. And that's how you get to that $160,000 of sales.
Yeah, Andy, you got a really lucrative market there. Social is lucrative, right? It's a lot of eyeballs. And there's a common theme that I keep hearing on your website over and over again. It's a really simple statement. It says, "We get you more customers." So is that really, that's what your advertising has to be all about, right? It's all volume driven. As Brien said, for someone spending a lot of money on here, you have to increase the volume. So what special techniques do you guys have to really drive customers?
Without giving away your secret sauce.
Yeah, well, here's the cool thing. The secret sauce really is Facebook, right? So the secret sauce is actually knowing what Facebook wants, right? It's like what we spend a lot of time on, and we spend, about $35,000 a year just in education for our team. What we spend a lot of time on is knowing what Mark Zuckerberg wants now, right? And once you know how to swim downstream with Facebook and not against it or across it, then you find that you can get the results that you look for. And when I say that we have clients that spend $50,000, they didn't. Many of them didn't spend $50,000 in their first month. Right? It's not like, hey, we just started spending $50,000 and got them the results. They might have started with $1,000. They might have started with $1,500 or $2,000. And as those results started coming in, then you start scaling. Right? The industry standard typically with Facebook is if you can be getting a 3 times return on your investment or more, you're doing well, right? You're doing a good job. So if I spend $1 and I make 3, I've got something that's working. So the trick is scaling it to the point that you can get 50,000. Because a lot of times you'll be able to spend, you might run a little campaign and spend $100, and sure you make $400, and you're like, oh, that's great. The trick is, how do you go from spending $100 to $1,000 and getting that same scaling where you spend that $1,000 and make $4,000, you spend that $10,000 and make $40,000, and so forth, right? And the scaling comes into making sure that you're working with Facebook and what it's trying to accomplish, right? And that you're working within a structure that can sustain that scalability. Once you've got that structure built, once you've got that system built, and you're working with Facebook's outcomes, which they want, then it's just about scaling it. And like I said, if you make $1, if you spend $1 and you make $4, then hey, if you spend $50,000, you could make $200,000, right? If you're keeping everything tight. The problem that you can come across is as you spend more money, everything becomes more magnified. It's a little bit like, if I build a sandcastle that's 3 inches tall, it's pretty easy for me if there's a half inch or a quarter of an inch discrepancy at the bottom and I'm just going a half an inch tall, it might not fall over. But if I build that sandcastle to be 100 feet tall, that little discrepancy at the bottom could make it fall over, right? So where we come in and our knowledge of how Facebook works and the systems that make it go is knowing how to keep it all straight. So like if you build a 2-story house, you can have a lot more variances on in inaccuracies, right? If you're building a 300-story skyscraper in New York City, everything has to be quite exact. And what we find is that's what we specialize in, and we spend a lot of time knowing what those algorithmic kind of mathematical equations kind of add up to as we're trying to grow. Now it's that, and a lot of that isn't necessarily us. We know what Facebook wants. So once you've got that, then you've got to make sure that you've got an ad that is going to be inspiring to people, right? Because sure, we can build a really wonderful system and a structure with which to put your message in, but if your message sucks and no one's really interested in it, it doesn't matter how good that system is. It's a little bit like if you build this wonderful skyscraper and there's nothing in it, or it's barren, people aren't going to necessarily move into it, right? If it doesn't have all the carpeting in and all the things that make a structure welcoming. So that's I feel like I'm getting a little bit lost with the line of the conversation, but basically to get to that large number, you start at the bottom, you scale up. Once you've got the system built correctly, then it's about getting the correct message for the audience that you're going after, right? Some audiences are smaller than others, right? It'll, you guys, we have some clients that are national, right? That are wanting to get anybody in the United States to work with them. There's 166 million weekly users on Facebook. There's 2 billion worldwide, right? So it's a massive potential audience. 166 million is a massive audience, right? It's basically a bottomless pit of opportunity. So we have some clients that are e-com based that want to sell to everybody in the United States, right? Where you can't necessarily put an ad out there to everybody in the United States. It's too costly. If you think that the average click on Facebook, an average good click price on Facebook might be $1, if you want to reach everybody, you're going to spend $166 million. If you want to reach everybody, what you want to do is actually build an audience that's very focused and most likely going to purchase the product, and that might be 700,000 people, and then you play within that audience nationwide, right? So
Very
I think
interesting.
I'm kind of going all over. All over the place with my answer here. But like with a small business, which maybe a lot of your listeners are, we might just focus on 3 different zip codes in LA, right? There might be a restaurant, let's say. The funny thing to me is how restaurants don't do more advertising on Facebook. Facebook can work tremendously well for restaurants. The problem with restaurants is the tracking side of it. But restaurants will spend money on print ads, but restaurants will spend money on television or radio ads, but you don't see them actively working online, right? It always amazes me that they don't do it. But let's say we've got a restaurant that we want to promote. We might choose 3 or 4 zip codes and then people that have an interest in Thai food, right? And that might be, a total of 25,000 people. And then we place an ad in front of them that's enticing to people that might like Thai food, and in those zip codes. And it's tremendously powerful because what ends up happening is your ad is only turning up in front of people that want to see it, right? It's not turning up in front of somebody who hates Thai food. So that's how it becomes so compelling, and that's where the audience building becomes really powerful, and so forth. And most people, I would say, that try Facebook advertising themselves, they fail, mainly because they work against what Facebook wants, right? They're trying to fulfill their desires rather than what Facebook wants.
Hey, listen,
Facebook
Andy,
really
we're going to be right back. We have to take a station break. We're at KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM.
City of Hope is a world leader in cancer research and treatment. And there's a City of Hope community practice location right here in Santa Clarita, eliminating a major barrier in the fight against cancer: distance to quality care. Santa Clarita benefits from City of Hope's compassionate care and renowned clinical expertise. Find out more at cityofhope.org/Santa Clarita or call 661-799-1999.
With the safe disposal of waste from our homes in the Santa Clarita Valley, Chiquita Canyon Landfill is able to create enough green energy to power 10,000 homes each year. So you can feel good that the waste from your home in the SCV is helping create a clean energy source and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Chiquita Canyon Landfill is our partner in sustainable living.
Chiquita Canyon is helping lead the way to a greener future.
Why do people from all over Santa Clarita come to our spa in Canyon Country? Simple. They want the highest quality services at prices that everyone can afford. This is Rosemary from Beyond Harmony Med Spa. Read our reviews and know why we won the Ultimate Beauty Awards 2 years in a row by the readers of Elite magazine. Come and see how close we really are and experience the level of excellence that our clients have loved for the past 13 years. Go to BeyondHarmony.com or call 298-8008 today for a free consultation.
KHTS. Now FM, 98.1 FM, and AM 1220, your hometown station.
Welcome back. Not Rocky, it's Ask Brien. Yes, we are Rocky. Probably get in trouble for that, but anyway. We're on the Ask Brien radio show, ASKBRIEN. We have a wonderful guest, my co-host, Alex Grossman. Alex, you there?
I am absolutely here, Brian.
Say hello, just because we want to make sure you're still around. And we have our wonderful guest today, Andy, an expert in Facebook advertising, who's been going through a whole bunch of very, very broad background about the whole Facebook concept. I didn't want to interrupt him, so I wanted. Do you recall where you were last, or do you want me to go back on track to get you back on track?
Yeah, let's get back on track because there's a lot of things. I think one of the things that we were talking just during the break is how many people, and I would agree, many people, in fact, the majority of business owners will try to run a Facebook ad and fail, right? Why is that? Why do they fail and then others do really well?
Well, they haven't used your services.
Right, there you go. Everybody should work with us, otherwise you're going to fail. So that's how it works. No, the beauty of Facebook is you can be quite sophisticated with it and get a larger return on ad spend, but there are some pretty basic things that you can do to make sure that you don't lose money on Facebook. Facebook is a wonderful way to brand your company, to get your word out that you exist, right? So, what a lot of common mistakes that we see is people will just build an ad, throw it out there, spend $20, nothing really.
Hello?
Oh, I think we lost Andy.
Oh, Facebook doesn't work.
Oh, there he is.
I think we lost you for a second, Andy, so you're going to have to just...
Okay, so people, what I was saying is, what happens a lot of times with small businesses is they'll have a budget, they'll spend $20, they'll put one ad out there, maybe the audience is, 1 million strong, and nothing happens. And they're like, oh, Facebook doesn't work, this sucks. I don't know how this goes, it's just a waste of money, right?
Why, did I tell you my story?
What? Yeah, there you go. So what actually, the reason for that is, there's multiple things going on. One is oftentimes what we see is the ad is not compelling, right? It's usually people build ads and it's all about what they want. It's not about what the audience wants, right? I can't go into a room to sell my business, services by just saying, I want customers to spend lots of money with me. I want this, I want that. I have this, I have that. What I need to do is find out what my customer base wants. What's interesting to them? What do they want? What's important to them? What are their problems? What are their issues? What am I trying to solve? What are they looking for, right? And make it all about them. And the reason why I say that is Facebook's whole algorithm is all based on interest, right? Facebook's main concern, and this is really important for everybody to understand, Facebook's main concern is making sure users come back 12, 15, 20, like my wife might go on Facebook 20 times a day, right? That's what Facebook wants. They want the 160 million users in the United States to be consistently coming back. The way they do that is make sure that on their news feed, there's lots of interesting things, including the ads, right? So there's a thing called relevancy. Relevancy is the new thing. People are loyal to their own relevancy, not to brands anymore. No one cares about brands. What they care about is what's relevant to them. We see it in politics. We see it in everything, right? So it's all about relevancy. If this message is relevant to me, I'm interested. If it's not relevant to me, I don't care, right? That is basically how social media works. So if you can put an ad together that is relevant, that the message is relevant, you'll have a lot more success. What's key with that, too, is making sure that your ad is very specific. Your audience, is very specific to that message. So you don't want to have a million-strong audience with a bunch of people that aren't interested. I'll give you a really good case study example. We do a lot of work, funnily enough, with gymnastics gyms. It might sound like a weird thing that we're very strong with. My wife is a gymnastics coach. That is, in a nutshell, that is why we help gymnastics gyms. We had a client that was in Phoenix, Arizona, and he wasn't getting any results. He was very frustrated, but he knew that you can get results to Facebook, and he contacted us, and he was like, why am I not getting any results? Well, the first thing that we saw is his ad was all about him, all about how long he's been in gymnastics, all about, his gym, very little about, helping kids get stronger and more confident and all that good stuff that parents care about. The other thing was he was advertising to every single person that lived in Phoenix. Right, so it was 2 million people that live in Phoenix. What's the chances that some of them don't have children? What's the chances that some of them are older? Facebook is an older-leaning social media platform. What's the chances that there might be some 18-year-olds that don't have kids? There's a lot, right? What's the chances that there's some people that have kids that have no interest in gymnastics? So what we did was get very, very specific on the audience. The audience actually got so small that it went down to about 60,000 people out of that 2 million. But what happened is all of a sudden his ads started to take off. We also changed the ad to be more relevant to those parents. Funnily enough, all those parents were mums, right? Mums are the ones that make most of the decisions. Guys, we know that, right? Our wives make a lot of the decisions in the household. We focused it on moms. We focused it on moms that wanted that health was important, physical activity was important. We focused on some some mums that were interested in soccer and other sports, and obviously gymnastics and dance and so forth. And then we made that the message be very, very specific to that mother, right? What's important to a mum? They want their kids to grow stronger, have more confidence, meet new friends, all those good things. So the ad was all about that. And all of a sudden, he's getting a ton of leads coming through where he's got none, right? The other part of that equation, this is the final part, which is the algorithmic part, which a lot of people forget about, is Facebook needs to have a certain amount of data to help us with our advertising. Facebook wants to help us put our ads in front of the correct people, and their algorithm will kick in and start doing that once there's enough data for it to look at. So, if you spend $20, not enough data will ever go through your ad. Facebook won't be able to help you. Facebook wants to help you. Why? Because they want to make sure that the information that's landing on somebody's newsfeed is actually interesting to them, so they come back. They don't want, ads that are totally irrelevant to somebody turning up on your newsfeed, because what will happen to them, they're dreadfully worried about becoming the next MySpace, right? So, in a nutshell, if you spend enough money, and typically you're spending about $120 to $130 would be enough money in about I would say in 5 days, over a 5-day period. And at the end of that 5-day period, if you've got your audience nicely activated and nicely targeted, if you've got a relevant message to that audience, and you've spent enough money with Facebook so the Facebook algorithm can start helping you, you should get pretty decent results. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
What's a typical result you would expect then? So I spend $130 on Ask Brien. What would be typical response?
Depends on what response you want, right? I mean, with Ask Brien, you might want just a lot of traffic to the site, right?
Correct.
If you want leads, it really depends on the different types of businesses. I mean, we've had gymnastics gyms sign up, 300 kids in a month. We've had e-commerce companies sell, to $2,500 different, sales, and all different types of products. So, the cost and the results can vary. We had a company that we worked with that was on a limited campaign. It wasn't a long-term campaign, but they sold bow strings, right, for hunting bows. Right. We ran their campaign for them, and we actually got them a 25 times return. So for every dollar they spent, they made $25. That's not typical, but the reason why they were able to do that was because they already had a lot of following. They had a lot of people who were already interested in their business. They actually had a lot of traffic that went to their website, and we were able to remarket that traffic that was going to their website. That's the other thing that I haven't spoken about that is critical with Facebook, is remarketing, right?
So Andy, if I can summarize a little before you go on in that, because I think talking about remarketing is important. But what I heard you say basically was that Facebook's big. You have to have some frequency in there. You have to be able to game, and I'll use that term, game the algorithms a little bit, which you guys know how to do. Yep. And that'll really give you the great ad results. But in the meantime, you have to have a strong campaign with a strong message. And so the three things you need to do is targeting, messaging, and spend. And of course, you're going to work on knowing the audience, gaming the algorithm, and their spend is going to determine the frequency. So it sounds like even a small business that deals with any of those, I think I heard you say 166 million people, once you slice and dice that audience, everybody should get a result, whether it's driving more traffic or, selling more things. And if the campaign is good, it seems like this is applicable to just about everybody out there who's looking at Facebook advertising. Is that true?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, people often say, well, business to business doesn't work very well on Facebook. Well, I've got to say to you that we generate about 2,500 leads a year for our business. We only work with businesses, we don't work with individuals. So, the key thing for people to realize is that even the CEO of XYZ company probably has a Facebook account, right? There's 166. You got a 50% chance, right? They've got a Facebook account in the United States. So
because everybody's a consumer, right? Everybody goes home. It doesn't matter.
Everybody goes home. Everybody has a mom or a sister that has a cat that they want to see on Facebook, right? Why not, whilst they're looking at their cat on Facebook or posting about their kids or keeping in touch with their family around the world or whatever the reason is that they're on Facebook, why not have an ad that's relevant to them, right? And, you know, the beauty of Facebook is that and you know, there's obviously been privacy issues and so forth that have come up. The reality is Facebook doesn't share anybody's information. It's a fallacy, right? There is no way for me as a marketer to find your information, to know who you are. It's not how Facebook works. Facebook has an interest-based system where we'll build a interest-based profile of what people like. So, you know, if going back to our Thai restaurant, you know, I might type in people who like Thai restaurants, interested in Thai food. And there'll be a certain number of people in Los Angeles that like Thai food, and Facebook will know that they do. And we can just put the ad in front of those people, right? Where it becomes more sophisticated is when you put layers upon layers of interests, and then you even do exclusions. So you might say, well, I want somebody who likes this and likes this and likes this, and I want to take out people who like this. And that's where it becomes a lot more intricate, where you can actually start developing a audience that's very, very specific. And that's where the kind of that creepy feeling that people get when they're on Facebook, where they're like, how did Facebook know that I was interested in hiking in the Himalayas? How did they know that? Right? It's because Facebook has a pixel system, which is pretty much on, at minimum, I think about 35 to 40% of the internet right now, especially in the United States. It might be even higher. So if you're traveling around and going to Expedia and looking at flights to Nepal, right, to hike the Himalayas, Facebook's going to know, okay, you know, we know that that Andy's interested in going and doing this thing. I'm going to put him in this pile, right? If I am researching, you know, Mount Everest, I'm going to get put into the pile of people that have an interest in Mount Everest. If I look into airfares and hotel rates, I'm going to be put into the pile of interested in that. It's usually like a 90-day rolling process. So every 90 days, our profiles kind of get updated, and it's a thing that no one can see. No one really knows what we're looking at. You know, Facebook, even the people on Facebook don't really know what our interests are. We're just in an algorithmic math equation to help find what we're interested in. Because Facebook isn't really interested in knowing what you're doing. Facebook's really interested in knowing what you're interested in. Because it only wants you to be bothered with stuff that you care about. Does that make sense?
Sure. The 1984, the 1984 implications there are a little scary, but in reality, it seems like if you're a business person and you're not taking advantage of that incredible database that they have, that, as you say, is fairly secure. It's only used for these type of purposes. Then you're probably missing out. So if you're not, sounds like you're not doing it right, and you're not taking advantage of it, you're probably missing out.
The way I look at it is, you know, I don't watch television anymore. I'm sick of TV ads, right? I don't want to be blanketly sent, you know, ads for a whole bunch of stuff. I'm a guy. I might not be interested in women's products. You know, I might not be interested in a women's perfume. Now, that might be unfair because my wife might be interested, and I might want to buy it for her. But when I'm on my own news feed, it's about me, right? So, you know, what I want. You know, although Facebook will know if I'm searching for a certain cologne for my wife through that remarketing system that we kind of hinted at a moment ago, it'll go back to Facebook and say, "Hey, Andy was looking at XYZ perfume," and then suddenly, if that company actually has a pixel on their site, and it's amazing how many companies don't, but let's say, you know, that company had a pixel on their site, all of a sudden, if they've got a remarketing campaign running, I'm going to start getting ads for that specific cologne or that specific perfume saying, hey, we know that you looked at it. We know that you put it in the cart, but you didn't check out. Hey, maybe come back and we'll give you 15% off to complete that transaction, blah, 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 right? And they'll know that I'm a guy, right? And I could even have an ad that comes up and says, hey, we know that you're looking to purchase this perfume for yourself or your significant other. Here's 15% off so you can make somebody super happy, right? And that's basically the power of it all. Obviously making the ad really relevant to who you're talking to, making the audience very specific, and that can be either through building interest-based audiences or even more powerfully using the traffic that you already have on your site. If you're a business that actually has a good amount of traffic already, then it's tremendously powerful, right? If you are getting, say, 5,000 to 10,000 visitors a month to your website, we don't even need to build an audience for you. We just have Facebook track what that traffic is on your website, and then Facebook will build a lookalike audience based on the current interest of the traffic that is going to your site, and then we can reach people who are very similar to the people that are already looking for you. Does that make sense?
You're listening to KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM. I have a couple of things I want to just point out. One, in case anyone is unaware, 1984 is referring to the book by George Orwell. Not everybody is aware of that. Some people don't read those books, Alex. Two,
really? That's hard to believe.
Two,
reading books? What's a book?
Exactly. Well, nobody's reading them. They're listening to them now. Two, I can
Google it, though. I can Google it, Pete.
Yeah, but 1984, you might come out with Olympics. You might come out with the Ronald Reagan election. We don't know what you're going to come out with.
Can I watch it on YouTube?
Yes, you can.
Sure.
We don't have that much time left. We're going to be taking a break shortly, but I want you to explain to people, how do you put a Facebook pixel on your ad or whatever? Because not everybody understands that.
What is a Facebook pixel? That's probably a good question, right?
Well, let's talk about what a Facebook is. It's slightly technical. So you're going to walk through, and it depends on what kind of website you have. So there's lots of variances to how you put a pixel on your site. But basically, what you need as a business owner is you need a Facebook business account, right? It's not a page. A page, you need to have a page as well, but you actually need to log into business.facebook.com, and you can actually build an account, which is called an ad account, right? A Facebook ad account. From that ad account, you can create a pixel. Pretty easy process. You can actually, it'll guide you through it when you first sign up and have a Facebook ad account. It'll actually walk you through the creation of a pixel. And then what you do, if you've got WordPress, it's actually quite an easy process that WordPress will actually walk you through to actually place the pixel into your WordPress website. And then obviously every other permutation of websites have their different way of putting it on. If you have any questions about it, you're more than welcome to go to our website, send us an email. We'll help you walk through that, give you some advice on it. But
why don't you repeat what your website address is?
Our website is www.creatively.disruptive.com. Pretty simple there. So, and you can just go down to the contact form, or you can actually send a messenger message to us right on the main page. So, what the pixel is it's basically a little number, right? And basically it tracks back all the traffic that goes to your website back to Facebook and back to your account. Now, it does two things. It does things that will track your traffic and build kind of like a little audience for you. Again, you don't know who they are. You don't get their website, your email addresses. You don't get any names or phone numbers. It's just Facebook will say you've got X number, 5,000 people that have visited your website that you can market to. You don't know who they are. You just know that there's 5,000 of them. And then you can start marketing to them because they've gone to your website. If you've got an e-com site or you've got some more sophisticated events set up, you can actually have the pixel tell you what pages they went to, right? So if you have a service where let's say a lawyer. Let's pretend that somebody is a lawyer. And you have different types of services that you offer. Maybe you have setting up a trustee, setting up maybe it's litigation, maybe it's business law, whatever.
Hey, Andy, my station manager said we got to take a break, so I want to continue on that one.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
You're going places, and College of the Canyons can get you there. And get into the school you applied to. Or maybe it's too expensive. Why not start at College of the Canyons, where it's only $46 per unit? COC also offers financial aid, classes that use free textbooks, and a promise program that allows qualifying full-time, first-time students to go to COC tuition-free their first year. Visit canyons.edu now. That's canyons.edu.
Join City of Hope today in the fight against cancer. Make a difference by participating in City of Hope's Together for Hope, presented by Antelope Valley Hospital and High Desert Medical Group on Saturday, September 15th. Be a part of this inaugural event in partnership with City of Hope Antelope Valley and show your support toward groundbreaking research to treat and cure cancer. They welcome everyone to their 2K walk, 5K run in honor of the individuals in our lives affected by cancer. City of Hope, the miracle of science with soul. Join the movement today by registering at togetherforhope.org.
Santa Clarita's hometown station. Hometown station.
KHTS AM 1220 and the new 98.1 FM.
Lots of people can build websites, but there's one Santa Clarita company that specializes in designing websites for your business. Small Dog Creative. The Small Dog Creative team is made up of local designers who are hands-on. Their talented team of experts build premium websites and redefine branding. Small Dog Creative doesn't just build websites. They'll upgrade your business's online presence and turn your business into a powerful online brand. Small Dog Creative, Santa Clarita's most innovative web and design company. SmallDogCreative.com.
Imaginary boxing. Ask Brien, ASKBRIEN on KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM with my co-host Alex Grossman, and my wonderful guest, Facebook expert Andy. Andy, before we took a break, we were talking about the fictitious hypothetical law firm pixel concept.
So
right.
So
let's go back to that.
If a law firm has a pixel on its site, you can actually set up different events to actually track where that person goes on the website. So, you can tell whether or not somebody has actually looked at the litigation part of the website, or the trustee setup, or the business side of the website. So when the ad gets produced to remarket, it's very specific to what they're interested in, right? So if I'm a business and I go to an attorney's website and I look at his business page, page on his website, then I could get a remarketed ad that's just talking about the business part of his practice. I'm not interested in his litigation. I'm not interested in the trustee stuff. I'm not interested in the ambulance chaser part of things. I'm just interested in the business and contract law. I can then get an ad that's very specific to that. And if you extrapolate that out to any business, what it means is it comes back to the relevancy of your ad and being interesting to that client. So you're playing with the rules of Facebook and you're being relevant, right? It's very important for everybody out there to understand no one is loyal to brands anymore, but loyal to their own relevancy. It's a very me orientated culture that we're in right now. And if you play with that, you can get some great results, right? So, So I think we were going to say something else. I can't remember what it was about the pixel.
Well, before we get there, so that's different. The pixel is different than the information that's going to be provided by Google Analytics?
Yes. The Google Analytics, it's very similar. It's a tracking mechanism with Google. It tracks the traffic. It's kind of similar but different, right? Like with Facebook, Google will track things, basically all the traffic that's going through. There is some remarketing processes that Google can have. The beauty of Facebook, and I'll quickly really go over the difference between Facebook in my mind and Google. Google's a very reactive platform, so somebody goes to Google, types in a search term, and gets told, hey, here's a bunch of people to go and check. Facebook is a proactive platform where it puts the idea in somebody's head, right? We know that person's interested in something. hey, maybe you should check out XYZ business because we know that you're potentially interested in doing business with them, without them doing any search on Facebook, right? The pixel on the websites is only tracking those that have a Facebook account, right? So I hope that doesn't cause everybody to run out there and delete their Facebook account, because in my mind, I want to have ads that are relevant to me. I want to get ads that I want to see. I have no interest in getting, a sanitary pad ad that my wife might want to get, right? I'm not going to wear one, right? So I don't want one. But, there might be others that want one. I don't want to have, I've got a little boy, I don't have a little girl. I don't want to have an ad regarding things for little girls right now, right? I want to have ads for little boys, right? I love rugby as a sport, right? I want to get ads regarding rugby. I'm not interested in getting ads for lacrosse, let's say, right? I'm not into lacrosse, but and then vice versa. Somebody who's into lacrosse, why would they want to get an ad about rugby, right? So, this little pixel, your information as to who you are, where you live, all of that good stuff is not public knowledge. No one knows what it is. Facebook does not sell your information to anybody. What it does is I put in, hey, I want to reach these people with these interests, and Facebook will put that out there, and it all comes through that pixel system where it can find what people are doing. Plus, obviously, it's tracking what you like, what you comment on, and what you engage with on Facebook. So it's obviously not just the pixel. The pixel is the outside of Facebook, and what you're doing on Facebook is, an internal Facebook mechanism to find out what you're interested in. Hopefully that's made some sense to people. What I just said here. It can get a bit deep, right?
Alex, we have about a minute and a half, so you had one last question you wanted to ask?
Yeah, Andy, I think that grabbing everything that you said there, I think one of the things that it points out here is that there's a lot of social media pieces. You may be doing something with Google and feel good about it, and I'm with probably that pack of people that you talked about that felt that a lot of business to business, if I'm going to use tools, I'm using my website and I'm doing Google, and that's where my question is going to go there a minute. But I think Facebook is something else that you really need to consider. But I also noticed on your website, creativelydisruptive.com, you also do websites, and you have something really unique up here called a 100% website satisfaction guarantee. So do people need a good website if they're doing Facebook advertising? And why should they use one that you create? What's different?
And we have 50 seconds left, guys. So.
Okay, well, in a nutshell, the reason why we do the guarantee is we actually build a website out, and if the client doesn't like it, we actually give them their money back. It's as simple as that, right? So when we launch the website, if they say we like it, that's the end of the guarantee. They can't say that they like the website and then later on down the track get their money back. Once they launch the website and they say they like it, guarantee is over. But while we're building it, they have a chance to change their mind, right? So that's what the 100% money back guarantee is. Now, the reason why a website's really important is because that's where all that traffic goes. Whether you're using Google, whether you're using Facebook,
5 seconds, guys.
Goes. And if your website isn't good enough, it's not going to convert the traffic. It won't matter what efforts you're doing with those other platforms.
Thank you very much, guys. Great show, Alex, Andy. Andy, we'll have to have you back on again because there's so much more that we wanted to ask that we didn't have an opportunity.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Thank you very much. You've been a great guest.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Brien. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.